Welcome to the Dice Tower, a video podcast about board games and the people who play them. This is a special episode of the Dice Tower in which Tom and Melody Vasel talk about their top 100 games. And now, here are your hosts, Tom, Melody, and Holly Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower.
Yes, welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're talking about 6 more of our great games. Today, we start the top 10. What are our top 10 favorite games? 10, 9, and 8? Here we come.
I like this game because you're diving for treasure.
Each player has a funny-looking diver. You can see piles of them here. And they're on this island of Key Largo, and you're moving them around each turn, going to different spots that you can get to go diving into the different piles. There's different piles of cards next to the deck, and you'll turn over some of these cards, and sometimes it's treasure like this card here, and sometimes it's a monster, and depending on where you're going, for example in the deep water there's better treasure but more monsters, and you can defend yourself against the monsters and get different equipment, special abilities, or you can just take people touring around the island. And the object of the game is what?
Money!
Yeah, to get the most money. But it's a lot of fun. It's kind of silly. You are impacted by what other players do because they might go diving where you want to go dive. Or if more than one person goes to the store, then all the prices are higher. Things like that. A lot of fun, and one that we both enjoy playing. Who can play this game?
10.
Alright, top 10, here we go. For its 4th year in the top 10, 5th year on the list, we have Dungeon Twister. And you can see I have 3 of the games here. There's actually, I think, 5 expansions that I managed to fit inside 3 boxes. I highly suspect that Dungeon Twister might get a boost, if only because just a little bit after I talk about this list, Dungeon Twister 2 with miniatures is coming out, and some other changes, which who knows what they will be, but it will be compatible with all this stuff, and that makes me very, very happy. But Dungeon Twister is a mix between chess, in a sense, in which you're moving pieces around the board. There's no luck in the game other than the initial setup. None. Playing cards from Lord of the Rings Confrontation, add them to your strength, and just how you use all the different special powers between all the different people, moving them around, trying to either kill the opponents, a point for each one that you take out, or get someone out the opponent's end line. So it almost has a feel of a sports game to it. I'm telling you, the sheer variety of the different number of teams you can make up. You have 8 people, but with I think there's like 60 different ones to choose from at this point. That's a huge amount of combinations. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. How do you deal with the opponents? Dungeon Twister is a fantastic game. I'll play you at it any time. You'll probably beat me. I'm really horrible at the game, but I love it anyway.
Game because while you have the points, you do different funny things of throwing them.
Yeah, Bocce is a game in which you throw a ring and a ball trying to get close to the Bocce ball. And Melody's going to show the Bocce ball in a minute, but before we do that, let's show you some people playing Bocce. Go ahead.
3. Ah! Oh my god. Oh! Daddy, she doesn't know how to throw with her elbow.
No, that's good. Oh!
Wow.
One more time.
This is the Bocce ball.
Yeah, it's a 20-sided die with different sides, and whatever side is up, players are trying to do different things. Usually you're trying to get as close to the Bocce ball as possible, and sometimes you can even win just by getting your ring around the ball, which is very easy, right? No, it's really difficult, but it's a lot of fun. And where do we usually play Bocce?
Outside.
And where? When?
At picnics?
Yeah, lots of fun at picnics.
In the movie business, sequels are very rarely successful, and almost never are they better than the original movie. It happens, says the Joker. But In the board game business, here's a sequel that way outdid the original one. Well, not way, I guess Agricola's number 12 and this one's number 8. Woohoo! But I tell you why I like Le Havre better. Le Havre is very similar in some aspects. You're trying to get food, you're trying to get resources, but in Le Havre, the reason I like it so much more than Agricola is because in Agricola, it's fun. You're getting all these things, but you're always feeling stressed because I hope that guy doesn't take that spot I need. In Le Havre, take the spot I need. I don't care. There's 4 other good ones. You might have taken the best one, but there's other good options. Le Havre is a fun game because there's so many good things you can do in a turn. You want to do them all, but you can only do one. See, there's other games I can't stand, where, like Notre Dame and others, where you feel like you're just above the water, just trying to survive. Am I going to, what's the least worst option I can do this turn? In this game, you get to do the best thing. Hey, I'll turn my wheat into bread. Oh, I'll get some meat from the cattle. I'll ship this. I'll build a ship. I don't know. I really like this game. I'll play any chance I get. Just not with 4 or more. 3 or less.
I like this game because you're racing around the track.
Yes, Formula D is a fun family game, and Melody enjoys it when you have a big racetrack, and here's part of a racetrack, and you're moving cars around the track. I found that with kids, it's often best to help simplify some of the rules. We certainly don't play with the advanced rules, but rolling the different kinds of dice, trying to get your car to go to different locations is a lot of fun. Which die do you like rolling the best, Melody?
The big die.
The big... Which one?
Blue die.
The blue die? But can you roll that die all the time?
No.
Right, because when you go to a corner, what do you need to do?
Slow down.
Right, you need to slow down when you get to corners, and this is something that kids initially they don't understand, but the whole gear shifting and keeping track of damage is something that most kids will get, and Melody and I find that this game is a lot of fun, especially when we play it with a lot of people on one big racetrack. It can be a very good family activity.
I told you earlier I was going to talk about one of the Commands and Colors games, Memoir 44. Don't get me wrong, Commands and Colors, Battle Lore, love them both. Fantastic games. But Memoir is where it's at. Here's my Memoir bag, which is chock full of German troops, American troops, British troops, Japanese troops, Russian troops, Tiger tanks, special dice, extra cards, huge maps, and it's all in this bag, and it's constantly in play. I run Memoir tournaments on the posts, army posts around me. I run them with my kids. I play Memoir, the Overlord. Overlord is probably the reason why Memoir goes a cut and above. Oh, I'm so excited. I really think Memoir is a great game. I mean, obviously I think there's 7 games that are better, but this is a really fantastic one. And so, Memoir 44. You don't need everything to have a good time at it. You really don't. This is everything up to this point. You don't need it all to have a good time, but I'll tell you what, when you do, you can recreate all kinds of World War II. You can have your ASL and all those super expensive, long, ridiculous games. This one is the best. Thanks for watching us today. We have 6 more games that we're going to be talking about. We'll be talking about 7 more games. Anyway, until then, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Melody. And I'm Holly.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.